awesome. And I'm going to start recording this call now locally as well. And let me know whether you're able to see the screen that I am sharing with all of you. Yes or no? You can raise your hand to let me know if you can read it. If you can,
Yes.
that's very good. And for now, I'm just going to mute all of you, and I will continue on with the Vigyapti Panchaka prayers. Matsamo nasti papatma na paradhi cha kaschana parihare pilajjame kim bhruve purushottama yuvatinam yatha yuni yunam cha yuvatau yatha mano bhi ramate tadvan mano me ramatam tvai bhumau skhalita padanam भूमिरेवावलम्बनं त्वयि जातापराधानां त्वमेवा शरणं प्रभो गोविन्द वल्लभे राधे प्रार्थये त्वामहं सदा त्वदीयम् इति जानातु गोविन्दो मां त्वया सह राधे वृन्दावनाधीशे करुणामृतवाहिनी कृपया निज पादाब्जा दास्यं मायं प्रदीयताम्. So going over now to the translation. We already have the reading order here. So let's get on whoever comes up next here. And if you are in a noisy background and you're doing something else, then please mute yourself. And here we go.
O Purushottama, no sinner or offender is as bad as I am. How can I describe my shame? Just as the minds of young ladies take pleasure in a young man, and the minds of young men take pleasure in a young woman, kindly let my mind take pleasure in you alone.
Just as the ground is the only support for those whose feet have slipped, you alone are the only shelter for those who have offended you. Varshana Mataji.
Radharani, beloved of Lord Govinda, this is my request. May you and Lord Govinda consider me of your assistance. Hare Krishna.
O Srimati Radharani, O Queen of Vrindavan, you are a river flowing with the nectar of mercy. Please be kind to me and give me a little service at your lotus feet.
Okay, so before we go to the next part, there's some place from where I'm getting an echo. If you can.
Charu Mataji has joined twice, so that's why it is.
Okay, who has joined twice? Charu Mataji?
No, Mataji, I switched from phone to computer.
Okay, yeah, but I do see you
make
two
it
times. Okay, hold on. Yeah, we do see you 2 times. Okay, let me just remove. I'm trying to remove you, Mataji, Charu Mataji, and if you get completely removed, then please join. Okay, I don't want to do that actually. Okay, say something, Charu Mataji.
Mataji, I turned off the phone already, so you may not have to do that anymore.
Okay, perfect. That's what I wanted to do. That, but I do see you here, so I wanted to, and both of them are unmuted. So I just wanted to make sure that I have you right. So there you go. Now, okay, there's a delay between when you switch it off and when I see it on my console. Okay, so this is good. So how are you doing today?
Good.
Okay, I'll give you some choices. Can you respond?
Transcendental.
Use your fingers to respond on your screen. Okay, only 1 person has responded, 2 persons, 3 persons, 4. How many do we have here? Everybody has responded?
This is 1.
Okay, yeah, I know, yeah. Everybody did that? Everybody done? Everybody responded? Yes or yes? Charmati, were you able to respond? Okay, so I'm ending the poll.
I did.
Awesome. And I'm ending the poll and I'm sharing the results with you. So one said transcendental, or one station said transcendental. It could have two people there. Ecstatic, two. Good, one. Awesome. Okay, good. Then it'll be a joy to be with you today. And let's get going here. So we did the Vigyapti Panchaka verses, and we have been doing it for quite some time now, right? So here's the thing. I want you to go in the same order in which you speak, right? Like Suyash and Manasi go like that, right? And I just hear this very carefully, okay? Are you listening to me? If you're listening to me, then raise your hands. All right. I want you to give me only one word that you remember from the prayers. It need not be Sanskrit. It could be Sanskrit or English. Just one word.
Lotus feet.
Lotus feet. Very good choice of words. If after reciting those prayers, all that you remember is the lotus feet of the Lord, isn't that wonderful? Good job, Manasi.
Vrindavanadishe.
Vrindavanadishe. Wow. We've got some good quality coming in here today.
Yeah, I was also going to say Radhe Vrindavane Dhishe.
That's fine. So you embellished it. You added a Radhe. That's good. You get 10 extra points for that. And Vashana Mataji, you are on mute.
Consider me one of your assistants.
Do you want to be the assistant? She's polishing her resume. And those of you who are watching us on Facebook, if you want to type your responses there, I'm watching it. Okay. What else?
Radharani.
Radharani. Okay, good. Okay, good. Anything? Anybody else?
When I slipped your feet, you are the only shelter.
You're the
Yeah,
only shelter. Yeah.
Yes, Mataji, I also want to say that.
You also wanted to say that? Okay, good.
I slip, you are the only.
Right. So you see, without our even endeavoring to conquer those verses, by just submissively and with humility and with joy and love reciting those verses every day, it is slowly sinking in. Right? And I was telling you the other day about soaking garbanzo beans in water. The more you stay with it, the more you will absorb. Right? So thanks to Rohit, my friend, who pointed out this thing. So good. We got some good absorptions there on our Vigyapti Panchaka. So are we ready to go to the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita now?
Yes, Mataji.
Are you ready? Okay, so then let's get going and we'll share the screen with you here. And you know who's going to go next on the reading side? Do you know? I don't.
Ishwari Mataji did, right? So Mansi and Suyash Prabhu's turn.
Awesome. Thank you, Khyati, for keeping track of that. That really helps me. All right.
Chapter 1, Observing the Armies on the Battlefield of Kurukshetra. Text 1. Dhritarashtra said, O Sanjaya, after my sons and the sons of Pandu assembled in the place of pilgrimage at Kurukshetra, desiring to fight, what did they do? Sanjaya said, O king, after looking over the army arranged in military formation by the sons of Pandu, King Duryodhana went to his teacher and spoke the following words.
O my teacher, behold the great army of the sons of Pandu, so expertly arranged by your intelligent disciple, the son of Drupada. Here in this army are many heroic bowmen equal in fighting to Bhima and Arjuna, great fighters like Yudhana, Virata, and Drupada.
Charu Mataji's turn.
Hare Krishna. Here in the army are many heroic women equal in fighting to Bhima and Arjuna. Great fighters like Yudhana, Virata, and Draupada. Do we read two verses?
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
I'm just scrolling it.
7 now, right? Yeah, sorry about that. But for information, O best of Brahmanas, let me tell you about the captains who are...
Number 5. You skipped number 5.
Did I?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
You
Sorry.
you can restart. Yeah, because I was also confused. I kept on going like, I was looking for the word this to K2 could come from your Moroto's mouth and didn't come. So go ahead. You can always start. Yeah, from here.
Okay.
There are also great heroic.
There are also, Hare Krishna again, I'm sorry.
No problem.
There are also great heroic, powerful fighters like Drishtaketu. I don't read this every day, Mataji.
Chekitana.
Chekidana, Kasi Raja, Purujit, Kanti Boja, and Saiba.
Shabya. Yeah,
Shaibya.
Kunti Bhoja and Shabya.
Kunti Boja and Shaibya.
Okay.
Should I read 6, Mataji?
Yes.
Or it's
We read two each. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. There are mighty Yudamanyu, the very powerful Tamuja, and son of Subhadra, and sons of Draupadi. All these warriors are great chariot fighters.
Good.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to scroll this up here for the next reader. Okay, just go ahead.
It's you, Mataji.
Your turn, Mataji.
Oh, wow. But for your information, O best of the Brahmanas, let me tell you about the captains who are specially qualified to lead my military force. They are personalities like you, Bhishma, Karna, Kripa, Ashwathama, Vikarna, and the son of Somdatta called Bhuri Shrava, who are always victorious in battle. Scrolling up.
There are many other heroes who are prepared to lay down their lives for my sake. All of them are well equipped with different kinds of weapons, and all are experienced in military science. Our strength is immeasurable, and we are perfectly protected by grandfather Bhishma, whereas the strength of Pandavas, carefully protected by Bhima, is limited.
All of you must now give full support to Grandfather Bhishma as you stand at your respective strategic points of entrance into the phalanx of the army. Then Bhishma, the great valiant grandsire of the Kuru dynasty, the grandfather of the fighters, blew his conch shells very loudly, making a sound like the roar of a lion, giving Duryodhana joy.
Who comes next?
After that, the conch shells, drums, bugles, trumpets, and horns were all suddenly sounded, and the combined sound was tumultuous. On the other side, both Lord Krishna and Arjuna, stationed on the great chariot drawn by white horses, sounded their transcendental conch shells. Hare Krishna.
Lord Krishna blew his conch shell, called Panchajanya. Arjuna blew his, the Devadatta. And Bhima, the ferocious eater and performer of Herculean tasks, blew his terrific conch shell, called Paundra. King Yudhishthira, the son of Kunti, blew his conch shell, the Ananta Vijaya. And Nakul and Sahadev blew the Sugosha and Manipushpaka. That great archer, the king of Kashi, the great fighter Shikhandi, Drishtadimna, Virata, and unconquerable Satyaki, Drupada, the sons of Draupadi, and others, O king, such as the mighty armed son of Subhadra, all blew their respective conch shells.
Scrolling up.
The blowing of these different conch shells became uproarious, vibrating both in the sky and on the earth. It shattered the hearts of sons of Dhritarashtra. At that time, Arjuna, the son of Pandu, seated in the chariot bearing the flag marked with Hanuman, took up his bow and prepared to shoot his arrows. O king, after looking at the sons of Dhritarashtra drawn in the military array, Arjuna then spoke to Lord Krishna these words.
Arjuna said, O infallible one, please draw my chariot between the two armies so that I may see those present here who desire to fight and with whom I must contend in this great trial of arms. Let me see those who have come here to fight, wishing to please the evil-minded son of Dhritarashtra.
Next. Hare Krishna again. Sanjaya said, O descendant of Bharat, having thus been addressed by Arjuna, Lord Krishna drew up the fine chariot in the midst of armies of both parties. In the presence of Bhishma, Drona, and all other chieftains of the world, the Lord said, just behold, Partha, all the Kurus assembled here.
There, Arjuna could see within the midst of the armies of both parties his fathers, grandfathers, teachers, maternal uncles, brothers, sons, grandsons, friends, and also his fathers in law and well wishers. When the son of Kunti, Arjuna, saw all these different grades of friends and relatives, he became overwhelmed with compassion and spoke thus.
Arjuna said, My dear Krishna, seeing my friends and relatives present before me in such a fighting spirit, I feel the limbs of my body quivering and my mouth drying up. My whole body is trembling, my hair is standing on end, my bow Gandiva is slipping from my hand, and my skin is burning.
I'm now unable to stand here any longer. I'm forgetting myself and my mind is reeling. I see only causes of misfortune, O Krishna, killer of Kesi demon. I do not see how any good can come from killing my own kinsmen in this battle, nor can I, my dear Krishna, desire any subsequent victory, kingdom, or happiness.
Scrolling up.
Yeah. O Govinda, of what avail to us are the kingdom, happiness, or even life itself, when all those for whom we may desire them are now arrayed on the battlefield? O Madhusudana, when teachers, fathers, sons, grandfathers, maternal uncles, fathers-in-law, grandsons, brothers-in-law, and other relatives are ready to give up their lives and properties and are standing before me, why should I wish to kill them, even though they might otherwise kill me? O maintainer of all living entities, I am not prepared to fight with them, even in exchange for the three worlds, let alone this earth. What pleasure will we derive from killing the sons of Dhritarashtra? Text 36. Sin will overcome us if we slay such aggressors. Therefore, it is not proper for us to kill the sons of Dhritarashtra and our friends. What should we gain? O Krishna, husband of the goddess of fortune, and how could we be happy by killing our own kinsmen? Hare Krishna.
O Janardana, although these men, their hearts overtaken by greed, see no fault in killing one's family or quarreling with friends, why should we, who can see the crime in destroying a family, engage in these acts of sin? With the destruction of the dynasty, the eternal family tradition is vanquished, and thus the rest of the family becomes involved in irreligion.
When irreligion is prominent in the family, O Krishna, the women of the family become polluted. And from the degradation of womanhood, O descendant of Vishnu, comes unwanted progeny. An increase of unwanted population certainly causes hellish life, both for the family and for those who destroy the family tradition. The ancestors of such corrupt families fall down because the performances for offering them food and water are entirely stopped.
By the evil deeds of those who destroy the family tradition and thus give rise to unwanted children, all kinds of community projects and family welfare activities are devastated. O Krishna, maintainer of the people, I have heard by disciplic succession that those whose family traditions are destroyed dwell always in hell.
Alas, how strange is it that we are preparing to commit greatly sinful acts. Driven by the desire of enjoy royal happiness, we are intent on killing our own kinsmen. Better for me if the sons of Dhritarashtra, weapons in hand, were to kill me unarmed and unresisting on the battlefield.
Sanjaya said, Arjuna, having thus spoken on the battlefield, cast aside his bow and arrows and sat down on the chariot, his mind overwhelmed with grief. Hari Bol. So we finished our first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And I also saw one response coming from Vidyavadhu on the Vigyapti Panchaka. The words that she remembered was, and the feeling was of feeling ashamed. So thank you so much for sharing that. And now we're ready to go to the verse for today. And what's the verse for today?
1.24.
24.
24 coming up for you. And who goes in to read this today?
I thought you read only one verse.
Yeah.
You did I mess up.
Wow. I'm glad that I
So
don't
sweet.
need to be reading on her. Okay. Sanjay Uvacha Evam Vikto Yut Rishikesho Gudakeshena Bharata Senayorubhayor Madhye Sapayitva Rathottamam. And who's going to give me the synonyms?
I thought you had to continue. Sanjaya Uvacha. Sanjaya said, Evam thus. Continue. Ukta addressed Rishikesha, Lord Krishna, Gudakesana by Arjuna, Bharata, O descendant of Bharata, Senayoha of the armies, Ubhayoha, both, Madhye in the midst, Sthapayitva, placing, Ratha Uttamam, the finest chariot.
Good.
Translation. Sanjay said, O descendant of Bharata, having thus been addressed by Arjuna, Lord Krishna drew up the fine chariot in the midst of the armies of both parties.
Suyash Prabhu didn't go yet. You skipped Suyash Prabhu.
All right. Then Suyas Prabhu can go now.
Yeah, and then Varsana Mataji.
No, I'm not missed anything. Okay, I can read. Krishna's mercy. In this verse, Arjuna is referred to as Gudakesha. Gudaka means sleep, and one who conquers sleep is called Gudakesha. Sleep also means ignorance. So Arjuna conquered both sleep and ignorance because of his friendship with Krishna. As a great devotee of Krishna, he could not forget Krishna even for a moment, because that is the nature of a devotee. Either in walking or in sleep, a devotee of the Lord can never be free from thinking of Krishna's name, form, qualities, and pastimes. Thus, a devotee of Krishna can conquer both sleep and ignorance simply by thinking of Krishna constantly. This is called Krishna consciousness or Samadhi. As Rishikesha, or the director of the senses and mind of every living entity, Krishna could understand Arjuna's purpose in placing the chariot in the midst of the armies. Thus, he did so and spoke as follows.
All right. Okay, good. So, going back again to the verse, Sanjay Uvacha Evam Ukto Rishikesho Gudakeshena Bharata Senayorubhayor Madhye Sthapayitva Rathottamam. Okay, good. Now, time for us to do the reflections. This is a memory test.
Yes, Mataji.
Gudakesha.
Gudakesha, one who conquers the sleep.
Gudakesha. So, who all conquered sleep today?
Barely, Mataji just woke up.
I like your honesty.
And my Prabhu actually said he is feeling transcendental, because if you wake up from sleep and here it is that we are doing the recitation of Bhagavad Gita with the devotees, it is so instant transformation from one place to the other.
This is like double promotion, straight from ignorance into the transcendental. And people
Yeah.
have done that.
That's
They're
why
saying sleep is ignorance, right? So that
Sleep
was
is ignorance.
maybe
Yeah.
people are, I don't know, more
Very good. Very good. I like it when you apply these terms into your real life. Okay,
So
yeah.
Arjuna is referred to as Gudakesha also because he conquered ignorance.
He conquered ignorance. Good, 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 good. What else?
And I guess Krishna is saying Gudakesha because just here, as Arjuna is saying Madhusudana and other terms for Krishna, he's using you are a conqueror of ignorance and fight. Is that the reason he's saying Arjuna Gudakesha, or Sanjaya is saying actually?
Yeah. Your concept is right, but the person who's speaking is a different one. Yeah, it's Sanjay who's speaking. Yeah, which incidentally brings us to the question that, and I just want you to observe that Sanjay is speaking. To whom is he speaking?
Dhritarashtra.
Dhritarashtra, right?
Dhritarashtra.
So Sanjay is his secretary, right? Sanjay is secretary, and Dhritarashtra is there. So in the Bhagavad Gita, you will see Sanjay Vacha. Actually, what does Bhagavad Gita start with?
Sanjay
Sanjay
Vacha.
Sanjay.
No.
Dhritarashtra
No,
Vacha.
Dhritarashtra.
Dhritarashtra asked Sanjay. Dhritarashtra asked.
Vacha.
Vacha, right? So yeah, right. So Dhritarashtra first asks Sanjay, and then Sanjay is responding. And then during the Bhagavad Gita, when sometimes he says things within quotes, right? It's like Sri Krishna Vacha, Arjuna Vacha, like that. Sri Bhagavan Vacha, like that. So and then sometimes it is like straight. And then so we have Krishna speaking, Arjuna speaking, and then we have Sanjay who's speaking, and then on top of that, who's the one who's speaking? Even above Sanjay.
Lord Krishna.
Vedvyasji.
Vedavyasji, exactly.
Yes.
Vedavyasji is writing all this in the Mahabharata, right? So Bhagavad Gita is a part of Mahabharata, so he's writing inside it. So Sanjay Vacha. So yes, you asked Prabhu. So Sanjay is using all these words actually, right? Madhusudana and all that kind of stuff. But when he's narrating, when he comes to but Arjun said, Krishna said this. So at that time he's quoting Krishna verbatim. That Krishna addressed Arjuna like this, right? Like that. Okay, good. More points.
And the devotee of Krishna can conquer sleep and ignorance simply by thinking of Krishna constantly, and this is called Krishna consciousness.
You like that? Very good.
Yeah, I liked it.
Very good. Very good. So all that you have to do to get up on time tomorrow is to think about Krishna the whole night. Right? You will conquer sleep. That's what it's telling you, right?
Every day at night you remind me, go to sleep now.
Yes. It's after some point, like, I'm not talking to you. It's like 12 o'clock midnight for you, Prashana. Go to sleep. Okay. Yeah, what else?
I also like that Krishna must have told this to Arjuna, Gudakesha, right? It is along the same line what Suyash Prabhu was saying, is because now here is Arjuna and Krishna knows, right, what thoughts are going on in his mind. And he is first empowering him that you are Gudakesha who has conquered the sleep as well as ignorance. So you are not what you are thinking, you are more than that. So it's like that
Awesome.
empowering thought
Yes.
given to Arjuna.
Exactly. So it's very, very important to have some positive reinforcement for ourselves. And as we pursue and do devotional service, sometimes, the things in life, the material things and all that kind of thing, they just bog us down so much that we are ready to throw, the towel and say, no mas, I can't handle it anymore. So at that time, we have to constantly go back and think. And quite a few of the devotees, they come to me when they are talking and they say that I can't do it. I can never become a devotee of the Lord, right? But the thing is that the good news today is that the soul is a devotee of the Lord. That is how the soul is wired. The soul is made like that, right? For example, today is early in the morning, so I have a blender where I blend. So what do you use a blender in the kitchen for?
Juice.
Smoothies.
To blend.
Making
It's
smoothie, right? So
super.
you'll throw in an apple, an orange, banana like that, and then it'll make a smoothie for you, right? Now, if I were to take my clothes and put them in the blender,
Very correct.
Will it wash them? Right? So because it's wired to do things in a certain way,
Yeah.
right? It won't say that, all right, fine, oh, clothes are coming, oh, let me wash them, and like that. So similarly, the soul is also wired. Constitutionally, the soul is a devotee of the Lord. And even more good news. So now I'm sounding like one of those 11 o'clock salespeople who come on television. Then they'll sell you some cheap saucepans and they'll say, like, oh, yes, for only $10, you're going to get 3 saucepans. And that is not all. On top of it, we're also going to give you yada, 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 yada. So on top of that, in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, we will hear Krishna tell him that the soul does not change, the soul does not die, the soul does not cut, the soul cannot be moistened. So if the soul is a devotee, this means that soul doesn't change. Once a devotee, always a devotee, like that. So never ever think that you are never going to become a devotee of the Lord. You are a devotee. And what you have to do is, Gura Kesha, remove that ignorance from you. Right?
Mataji,
All of us
yeah, go ahead. You didn't
all
finish.
of us have to remove that layer of ignorance, which is making you think that I am this body and this body craves for this and this body does that. And then forget about the, in addition to the gross body, we also have got a subtle body, which is the mind. And we think that we are the mind, and and the mind is putting non-devotional thoughts in front of you. And we think that this is me and I'm not a devotee. So learn to segregate and learn to be detached from that and be an observer of your thoughts, of the thoughts that are coming from your mind, like that, and not from
Mataji, say once again this sentence.
okay,
Please.
Krishna speaks to me, so I don't know what I said. So what I was
It
saying
was
was
wonderful.
that, yeah, so what I was saying was that soul is a devotee of the Lord.
Yeah.
And the soul
Yes.
is through the mechanism of false ego, when the soul starts to think that I am this body, right? And then I'm not only the gross body, I'm also the subtle body, right? So the gross body is craving to eat meat, for example, right? And the mind is also giving you some thoughts like, okay, let me just go out. Why should I attend the Bhagavad Gita class? Let me go here, let me go there, some stuff like that. So we get into this process of, okay, such a bad thought came. I am a bad person. I cannot be a devotee. Oh, I'm having these cravings for meat. Oh, I can never be a devotee. So what I was saying was that you are a devotee. It's just
Yes.
the way you have to change the way that you're looking. Instead of saying that my soul, we have to say my body. Because you are the soul, you're not the body, right? But it's because of social conditioning. Everybody calls us by a particular name, and I identify with that. I'm this person's wife, I'm this person's daughter, I'm this person's mother, like that. But you are a soul. So that is the good news, right? So all that you need to do is to remove that ignorance, come out of that ignorance and say that I am a devotee. So at least there is some positive reinforcement that I am a devotee. For example, if you're facing some financial difficulties, right? So if you're facing some financial difficulties, and if I tell you that, in your home, there is a pot of gold, you don't know where it is, but I tell you that it is there, then you will feel good, right? But at least I don't have financial problems. The pot of gold is there. I just don't know where it is. It is there, right? So similarly, so you need that positive reinforcement. You need to have that positive thing. So every day, think about it that I am a soul. It is this ignorance. I am a soul. I am a devotee of the Lord. I just need to find it where it is. Where is that pot of gold in my home, right? I just need to find it. Khyati.
Yeah, Mataji, I was thinking that here Krishna himself is empowering Arjuna, right, with his word to lift him up. And when we are in this material world, we have to do it for ourselves, right? But right now I'm exhibiting qualities that I'm very tied to the body consciousness and do not have that soul consciousness. So there is like a disconnect for me to say to myself, because the reality is different and where I want to go is different, or where I am actually is different, right? So I'm not able to do that for myself. Here Arjuna could come out because Krishna is there with him. How do we like take help? I know devotee association is one that helps you uh, to come out of it, but I thought like telling myself when I'm not experiencing is something that puts me in more pressure, uh, that I am not, and how can I say I am?
Yeah, yeah. So one thing is that I would put your statement like 180 twist I will give to the statement, because what you were saying was that the reality is this, and I have to go there.
Yeah.
So
Explain
that's
us
what I'm
that.
saying. That is not the reality.
Yeah,
That is
that's
not the reality. The reality is that you are a soul. And that is what, see, this whole world, this whole universe thrives on that false ego. All of us, not just you, Kathy, this morning. All of us are like that. All of us.
Mataji, saying this, you're right that we are soul. We should reinforce this in our mind. But when you compare yourself with others, the pure devotees, the exalted devotees, the acharyas, you find that you are nowhere, not even a speck of, dirt of their lotus feet. When I look at you, I feel I'm nothing, useless, absolutely. मेरे को कुछ भी आता नहीं है. I'm absolutely useless person. I get that feeling when I compare myself with somebody else.
Yeah. So the comparison is having at a higher level, right? Higher or not higher, on a gross, on a material level, I should say that. So that's what I'm
This
saying.
is not material, Mataji. How's this? I'm only talking about your good qualities. Like we appreciate Lord Krishna. I appreciate Janva Mataji, you Satyavati Mataji, and the way they describe my God, or way you describe, I feel even if I take hundreds of births, I will not be able to do this.
Okay. Now, I won't answer that question, but I will just put that question to others in the team. That do you think Varchana Mati is exhibiting some qualities of a devotee?
Yes, Mataji. Yes.
There you go.
Striving to be
Yeah.
the best.
Not
Striving
one,
to be
many.
the best. Sorry, huh? Go ahead, Kathy Mataji.
No, go ahead, Charumata. You are saying.
Yeah. Striving to be the best is the best quality that I can see. Mataji, other Mataji, I forgot her name. What's her
Arshana.
name? Arshana, yeah. It's the best quality. I mean, that's who is striving. Nobody. We are all ignorant. We are souls. We know that. This is as a fact that we know. Knowing and realizing, it's like studying a book and really doing a surgery in the hospital. It's like that. So you are striving to the best. That's, I really like it. It's good. It's good. But I think, Mataji, the solution that I am thinking myself also, same way, we all are in probably the same boat, that taking this jap, doing the mala is the best. Attentively do Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. That can get you anywhere you want with the confidence and faith in yourself as well as Krishna, period.
Period.
Thank you, Mataji.
Okay, Kathy was saying something.
Yeah, I was
Statement.
saying, Mataji, not one. You have so many qualities. First of all, like to start here, day before yesterday, you were so focused that you were able to identify each and every name of Krishna and Arjuna and put it in a systematic order.
Mataji, I had to put a lot of time.
No, but that is your devotional service. So you are doing that, and you gave so much knowledge to us in a systematic manner, right?
In a different form.
In a different form. Also, when you come up with like how many verses are spoken by Krishna, how many verses are spoken by Arjuna, all these things you have meditated upon it. So I can see that quality in you. Mataji, then we should say we are not even 0.00001% of what you are.
No, ma'am. Totally. No, Mataji. I mean, thank you so much for encouraging me. But I know what I am.
So what other qualities of a devotee did you see?
Mataji, humbleness is the biggest thing that I am seeing, and
Yeah.
surrender and humbleness. She's listening to whatever you are indicating, and she's also following that with due diligence, with very proper dedication, and in all good faith for surrendering to Krishna. So I think that is a very, I mean, it's an amazing quality that's already.
It is. And for those of you watching us on Facebook, if you can share, feel free to share. What else did you see?
Devotee praising other devotees.
Yeah, I was looking for that. Yeah. Appreciating capacity. Phenomenal in you. And it is through this appreciating quality that you will imbibe the qualities of others.
Mhm.
You were asking me,
Really?
how will I reach that stage? I will never reach that stage. It's going to take me 100 births. So what? It's going to take you 100 births. If you know that it's going to take you 100 births, that is a very good thing, because you know the number. After 100 births, you will get there, right? So that is how it should be. So never ever, because you have a spiritual master. So saying that I will never achieve things is actually a slur on your spiritual master, because your
No,
spiritual
no.
master cannot make you do it, right? So get out of that negative feelings, right? And tak uttishta bharata. Krishna is going to say that in the second chapter to Arjuna. Leave all that and come out. Leave all that and come out. So yes. So what I was saying was that back to answering Kathy Mataji's question on that, he's saying that the reality is this, and then how do I reach there? But I know what you meant. But again,
Current state of
I'm
mind.
doing a twist of the words. But no. That is not the reality. The reality is, and that's the positive reinforcement. I want all of you to start thinking on a different plane, and that's where the question that that I asked in the morning, how are you feeling today? You should always be feeling transcendental, because that's what you are, right? You're not good or bad or this and that. Soul doesn't change. Soul always remains transcendental. You have got nothing to do with it. Purisha prakritis hi bhunte prakriti jair gunar karanam guna sangasya sad asad yoni janmashu. So it's a Purusha, the soul, it's only because of the contact. Chapter 13, it'll come. Contact with the material nature, and he starts to enjoy, right? And then fall, because we are marginal. We are like that tiny speck of fire. We can sway this way or we can sway that way, like that. So yes, it requires a lot of positive reinforcement. And Kathy, who's going to give you positive reinforcement other than the devotees?
I see, like at home, it mostly comes from my Prabhu, that he identifies, don't think like this, think
There you
like
go.
this.
Very good.
So
Very good.
that's why I was like, devotee association helps,
Very important. You are very
Hus-
lucky that you have your husband sitting next to
A
you.
husband devotee.
Very
Wonderful.
fortunate.
Sometimes devotee.
So today you should make something very nice for him.
Thursday fasting.
Thursday fasting, there you go. Neeral, you should have given her advice tomorrow.
He gave yesterday, actually.
You gave yesterday? Okay, good. So there's a treat due for you, Kathy. Okay, yeah, good. So, and then one of the things that who had mentioned that because Krishna is on his side, and that's why he's able to do that. That's a very important point from today's
Yeah.
right? It was mentioned there.
There's one more sentence at the end, Mataji, which Mansi pointed out to me. As Rishikesha, or the director of the senses, director word has been used for the first time for describing Rishikesha and mind of every living entity. Krishna could understand Arjuna's purpose in placing the chariot in the midst of the armies. So Rishikesha is the controller of the senses described in before.
Yeah.
And now the director. Meaning is same, I believe, but yeah, there might be some subtle difference.
Yeah, very very good point. And I like Achyuta also, and I'm kind of like talking about Achyuta because there's no end to his Achyutaship. And what I mean by that was, yesterday we read that Achyuta means a person. Achyuta means that he is infallible, never fails in satisfying the things for his devotees. But even beyond that, so we see, he said, Senayor Ubhayor Madhya Ratam Sthapyam Achyuta. So he says, put the rath in between, the chariot in between the two armies. Krishna does it. And then Arjuna gets bewildered. So his poor devotee, right, and his very sweet and intimate friend, he is bewildered. And then Krishna, as Achyuta, takes him out of that. It takes him 17 chapters to do that, but ultimately Arjuna moves over to his side, right? So that's another thing, and that's why I admire having Achyuta Radhe Mataji on the Facebook call here today. So Achyuta, I just wanted to bring that up also, that how wonderfully they're using these names, right? And through the names, they are actually telling us about all the properties of Krishna that is there, right? So, and one of you had mentioned that he had Krishna by his side, and Khyati Mataji was also saying that okay, things are okay for Arjuna was able to come out of his despair because Krishna was by his side. Now, what do I do? How do I do? How do I get out of this? How do I handle my life, right? So I just wanted to bring a very interesting verse, which is kind of in continuation with what Vaishajika Prabhu was saying yesterday in the Wednesday class. And does anybody remember what he taught yesterday? Were you there? I shouldn't ask that question if you were not there. And if you were not there, then it was a very good class. And if I remember the verse correctly, it was 8:547. I think so. I may be wrong. Klesha Bhuriyal Pesarani. Yeah, let's just read. Will somebody read the translation? Whoever's turn it is right now.
Mine.
There you go. Krishna gave you a chance.
Karmis are always anxious to accumulate wealth. Karmis are always anxious to accumulate wealth for their sense gratification, but for that purpose, they must work very hard. Yet, even though they work hard, the results are not satisfying. Indeed, sometimes their work results only in frustration. But devotees who have dedicated their lives to the service of the Lord can achieve substantial results without working very hard. These results exceed the devotees' expectations.
So before we go there and I go and talk that, I just wanted to welcome Sonia Mataji is also joining us, and Rohit Prabhu, I used your example of absorption today. Thank you for that. And then Varsha Mataji, and by the way, Varshana, this is for you from Vidyavadu Devi Dasi. She's saying Varshana is a great devotee. That's it, period. No further discussions on that topic. Okay. So I just wanted to highlight this point. But devotees who have dedicated their lives to the service of the Lord can achieve substantial results without working very hard. These results exceed the devotees' expectations. I just wanted to highlight this thing, that because you're a devotee and because you're engaged in service of Krishna, right? You will get results. Sometimes results might not come immediately, but you will get results that will exceed your expectations. And your expectation could be that you might not even know, and you might just go back to Godhead in this lifetime, like that. We never know, because Krishna's mercy can come in so many forms, right? So we were talking about the siddhas. Remember, we were talking about the nitya siddha, right? Who are always liberated, right? And then there are siddhas who have to work and go there, right? Sadhana siddha, they do sadhana, they do practice, and then they reach perfection, which is us. We are doing practice of devotional service, and then one day we'll reach perfection, like that. And then there is kripa siddhas. That is that Krishna will have his mercy on you. So you never know that Krishna will just turn around and do something to you which will be way beyond your expectation.
Yes.
And Vidyavadu Mataji will relate to that when I first got the Bhagavad Gita, I was so excited about it that I wanted to share it with everybody. And I called her long distance from here. Now, in those days, there were no, call voice over IP and internet and all that those were not there very much rampant. So you had to either use a calling card or, pay 53 cents a minute to AT&T. That is what I used to pay. And then the calling card was a little cheaper, but not free as it is now. So but I had this strong desire to, share it. So I used to share with her, and we used to read Bhagavad Gita, and then Obviously, she's my sister, so she used to be a little bit concerned at the expenses that were happening, right, because of that. And and I was on workers' compensation, so at that time, because of problems with my hands, I was not even getting full pay. It was a very meager pay that I was getting, but the desire was so strong. I said, okay, let me dig into my reserves and spend whatever is required. And then at that time, a company called Vonage came, and then Vonage said that you could dial over, and they said calls to India are free if you make me your local carrier. What more did I want? I jumped into that opportunity. So you see, Krishna takes care of it. And then,
Yes.
that's not all. I'm in that mood. That's not all. There's more. There's more here. And what was the more? That it said that if you recommend your friend, we will give you $50 credit. So I recommended friends, and everybody was so excited. This was making calls to India. I called all my friends who called to India, and I said, one is here, one is here. You will not believe that the basic payments that I had to do every month, because of all these recommendations, I had free internet for 6 months.
Wow.
Krishna will do things to you beyond your expectations. When you take one step towards Krishna, how many does he take towards you?
Many.
Mataji, other day when I told you that Reptile now has started charging me, before it was not charging, and then you said, why don't you join Zoom? And on Zoom, if I call on the phone, connect with Zoom, I still pay the call bill. But on iPad, I don't pay anything, Mataji. So it was Lord's mercy that now I don't have to pay anything.
Yeah. So the Lord's mercy comes in various places and unexpectedly windfall like that, right? Yeah.
And we have also experienced that in various form in our day-to-day life's experience also. So
if you make it your habit, to look for Krishna in everything that happens in your life, you will have such a wonderful life. Recognize, like today's, let us have a slogan for all of us today. Watch out for the super soul. Watch out for the super soul.
So in the every day-to-day work or practice, if certain situation comes to us, then we say super soul is directing us to do things better.
Super soul is your Uptrishta and Anumanta. He's observing you. So one way that you can bring in super soul and watch out for super soul is whatever thoughts are coming, whatever you're deciding, just be cognizant that not only the super soul, but even the demigods are watching you. That's one way of bringing him in, right? And then the second thing is that when something suddenly good happens, and if you consciously start looking out for the super soul, because super soul is there. Who is this Rishikesh?
Controller of the senses.
Yeah, controller of senses.
English. How will
controller of
director? He's the director.
Rishikesh is your super soul. When Krishna is in your heart as Paramatma, he's called Rishikesh. So your super soul is the Rishikesh. From there, he controls your senses.
Yeah,
Like
Mataji, the last sentence of this purport also says, Krishna could understand Arjuna's purpose in placing the chariot in the midst of armies. So means that he knew.
How does he understand that? Yeah, how does he understand? Yeah. Sitting there right next to you. That can be an alarming fact that he's sitting right next to me, or it could be a very happy fact. It depends on who you are, right? Like they say that if you are in the mouth of a cat, if you are in a cat's mouth, is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? Depends on who you are. If you are a rat, then it's certainly a bad thing for you. But if you are a kitten, then it's a very good thing for you because your mom is taking you from one place to the other place. Like that, right? So having a super soul and next to you, and I can tell you from experiences from my life. I mean, I had invited some people for prasadam at my home, and I was very hard pressed for time. and I was cooking at super high speed and trying to, make sure I have this and that. And I wanted to make some sweets, some sweet dish. And I was looking for a can of pineapple to do that, right? I don't know, I wanted to make pina colada, whatever I wanted. That's besides the point. But I wanted to, I was looking for a can of pineapple. So I went to my storeroom to look for it, right? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, could not find it. It was not in the usual place where it should have been. And it was a big can. It was not one of those small ones. It was one of those big things. And I was like, where is it? Not this, not this. I was panicking. And then I said, Krishna, please help me. Krishna, please help me. And then suddenly my eyes fell on the floor and the can was there. Now, because it was a big can, so when my husband brought it, he didn't put it on a higher shelf, knowing how I work, super speed, fast speed, this falls down, that falls down. So he didn't want that big can to fall on my feet. So he put the can on the floor, ground floor itself, on the floor of the store, underneath the shelf. So like that. So you see how when we say things like, my eyes fell on it, what does it mean your eyes fell on it? Right? Super soul controls, Rishikesh controls it. All that you have to do is to call out to him in real despair. And I've noticed that whenever I have been in despair, he always helps. It's just the quality of your call. And as Charu Mataji so eloquently said early in the morning, that you have to learn to chant and call out to the Lord, because that's the only way in this Kali Yuga for us to go. That feeling has got to be there. And how will you get that feeling? You have to stay in the association of people who have that feeling, right? Like that. So when you go and look at Prashana, at people who are exalted, so you mentioned that Mataji there. So if you are in her presence, then don't get that feeling of being overwhelmed that she is out over there and how am I ever going to reach there. You just be happy that you are right now immersing in the vibrations that she is emitting for you. Right? And you just go there and you say, wow, Krishna has arranged that nice association. All that I have to do is to serve this devotee. Mahat padarajo vichekam, right? I have to serve her lotus feet and take the dust from her lotus feet, like that.
No doubt, Mataji. I'm very lucky to have association of.
There you go.
very
Yeah,
good
devotee
people.
association. You cannot do anything without the devotee association. Actually, a very famous story from Srimad Bhagavatam is about King Bharat. He
Yeah.
was a very nice king and very powerful. And he had a beautiful wife and wonderful sons. He left all that because he wanted to pursue devotional service. Is that right, Ishwari Radha Mataji? Raise your
Yes.
hand. Okay,
Yes.
there you go. Right. So he was very much into devotional service. So he went to the forest and he was alone and he was meditating. And then during his meditation, he hears the loud roar of a lion and he opens his eyes and he sees that there is a doe, pregnant doe, and she's running, and behind her is the lion ready to eat her. So then this one jumps over a little stream and goes over to the other side. Now, because she's pregnant and pregnant ladies are not supposed to do these kind of acrobatics, she miscarries, and then from the trauma of that, she also dies. So there's a little child over there, a little cute little, baby deer. And King Bharat starts to take care of that deer. And he gets attached to the deer so much so that he started to willfully, as Vaisheshika Prabhu says, willfully neglect his devotional service. Willful neglect. Like, yeah, I know I'm supposed to meditate, but let me open my eyes and see what the deer is doing. Did somebody eat the deer? Right? Okay, I'm supposed to do meditation, but let me go find some nice grass for the deer. Like that. And he was thinking that he's doing the right thing because that vestiges of being the emperor and the king, the samskaras were still there. When you are the king, you are the controller and also you are the provider for your citizens. So it was there in him to do that. And he thought that he has to take care of the deer. So sometimes Maya can come to you in this form also. So he was there very nicely listening, very nicely taking care of the deer and willfully neglecting his devotional service. And you know what happens in the end, right? He thinks about a deer and he becomes a deer in his next life. Now, if he had devotee association, if there were devotees around him, some devotee would have told him, Prabhu, What are you doing? Why are you throwing away all this? All your devotional service? Why are you throwing it all away just for the sake of a deer? Somebody else would have told them that, Eko Bahunam Yo Vidadati Kaman, that there is only one God and He provides for everybody. Don't take control in your own hands. Somebody would have told him. So devotee association actually comes on the top, and it is one of the 5 potent items of devotional service. Devotee association. Mat chitta, mat gata prana, bodhayanta parasparam, kathayantascha mam nityam, dushyanti cha ramanti cha. So that's what they will do. They will sit down and they'll want to talk about Krishna Katha all the time. Somebody, it was Rohit, yeah. It was Rohit who sent me such a nice, he sent me a very nice thing yesterday. It was a picture which I think is floating around the internet. And it was nice. Let me see if I still have it here. I mean, not then I will give you the gist of it. Yeah, I think I have it here. Let me share this picture with you here. And let me share the screen. Let me share my screen. And where is my screen? This one I'm going to share. So read this carefully. It's a message to the Hare Krishnas. Can somebody read it aloud for me?
People, please stop crashing ourselves with your 3 hours.
Start from the beginning, Varshana. Start from the beginning of the sentence.
Hare Krishna. People, please stop crashing our servers with your 3-hour meetings with 100 attendees. Oh my God. What are you talking about for that long? You're talking about Krishna.
There you go. And people won't understand that. People won't understand this joy, this taste, and the enjoyment that we are having from just discussing Krishna, and the nice feeling that comes in your heart from doing that, right?
Yeah, Mataji, this sentence I really liked. You said willful neglecting. So many a times, Mataji, while chanting, the mind goes somewhere, and especially this phone is the biggest nuisance. See, anything, the light pops up, you feel that something has come. You just get up and want to see that. It really distracts you totally. I keep my phone, upside down so that I cannot see the light. But still, sometimes that anxiety, that is willful neglecting your devotional service.
There you go. Yeah. And I have got some comments on Facebook. Shraddha-devi Dasi is saying that you should just desire, and Krishna is always there for you. I'd also like to offer my obeisances to Divyanga Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for being there. And to Sarita Sharma Mataji and all my dear friend Koladeep Pran Prabhu. It's always a joy to have you there. Yeah. So going back again to what we are discussing today. And I think we are way beyond our time, by the way. And I'm not yet done talking about this verse. So we will pick up the verse tomorrow again. And this is the beauty of who would have thought, right? Who would have thought that just doing the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita is going to take us such a long time? And who would have thought that it is such an enjoyable thing?
Yeah.
Right? Just the first chapter itself. What to talk about, what's going to come in later there, right?
Mataji, I just want to say something.
Please say, I'm waiting to hear from you.
Yes, I really, really appreciate these deep insight into each and every verse, It's so beautiful.
There you
So
go.
beautiful.
Yeah, it is. And thank you to our acharyas who have been, who have given this legacy. It's a gift. This is a gift. And we should learn to appreciate it. Yeah. And then going back again to Varshana Mataji's, her outburst of emotions, which was very nice. She had said that I feel that I don't know anything, and they are up above like 100 steps on the staircase, and I'm down below and things like that. That's a very good feeling, because what does Guru Maharaj say? He says that the 4 words or 3 words that kill all learning are
I know everything.
know that. Yeah. I know that. So when somebody else is speaking something and we are going inside in our heart, like, I know that, I know that, I know that, I know that. Just waiting for the speaker to stop and then I'm going to tell them, what I know. So, and he also says that, if you are in the room where you know the most, then you are in the wrong room. Go to another room. And it is so amazing that, and that is where, again, devotee association keeps coming back at us. So if you go to, we might think that we know everything, then you go to another higher circle. Like we might be best at Bhakti Shastri. Go try to sit in a Bhakti Vaibhav class. It is such a humiliating experience. You don't know. And then after that, Bhakti Vedanta, Bhakti Apsara, oh my goodness. There's no limit to how much knowledge that you can acquire. But remember, if you do devotional service, and those will be my parting words for today, if you do devotional service, then knowledge and detachment. And since we're talking about knowledge comes as a concomitant factor. You will get knowledge as a byproduct. All you have to do is to do devotional service. The knowledge, sarvasya chaham, hidi sannivishto matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha. So Krishna says that I am sitting in your heart as Rishikesh, and from me come knowledge and remembrance, forgetfulness, everything like that. Okay, so today's slogan for us today is to watch out for the super soul, and we're going to do that throughout the day. And tomorrow we're going to have a shorter class, so we won't take up a new verse tomorrow. We'll just continue with this verse, and you're going to tell me that how you watched out for the super soul. Okay, all right. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindhubhyev cha patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Gaur Premanande Hari. Thank you so much. And do you know what's the most painful thing for me to do in the morning?
Leaving the calls.
Leaving the calls, to end the meeting, to switch that button where I have to say end meeting for all. Okay, Hare Krishna, dear devotees on Facebook and Zoom. See you again.